attempt to make the IPL 2018 a little easier to follow with lots of views. There'll be news as well, but lots of views to try and tell you just what we think about various events. Because let's face it, the IPL is the biggest carnival in town. It's the biggest cricket festival going in the world. And so we thought we'd get you informed as well. And we've got quite a panel today, just to start off, to put things in perspective, to tell you what you can expect. We've got someone who was captain of an IPL team till last year. Zaheer Khan is here. He had threatened to play this year, but then was it the wife you listened to or the body?
Well, I always keep my options open. So you might see me play the next year as well. So that threat is still continuing.
Because when we were in the West Indies, Zach was threatening to hit the gym every day. So that changed pretty quickly.
There's a difference between threatening to hit the gym and actually hitting the gym. That's the thing. I wake up every morning and I think, I've got to go to the gym today. Doesn't always happen.
And Simon Doull has decided that it's been a long time, so he's turned up with a new beard. But otherwise, it's still the same. The views are still the same. So that's what we're going to do here. Have nice, fun, informed views as well. It's difficult to imagine that the IPL is 11. I mean, it seems just the other day that the IPL was starting. Doull, you've done every single IPL so far?
Yeah, every one so far. And I think, much like the players, probably when you first arrived, you didn't really know. You had no idea how big it was going to be. But it was one of those situations for a commentator where it was an opportunity. And we don't get very many opportunities, Harsha, to get in on the ground level. And as a player, it's something that you get in on the ground level. I'm sure the players felt the same. You didn't really know what was going on.
Well, it was amazing. I think the whole magnitude of it was just like, it just hit us. You usually go to the grounds before the game, you warm up. That IPL first game, they had a big ceremony before that.
Yes,
so your whole routine was changed. Till that point you didn't know how to your match would normally finish by 10:30, 11. But now since IPL, it's been like completely different routine which was set in motion, and you had crazy schedule. I think that first year none of the teams knew what to do. Players didn't know how to cope up with that. So it was just one big organized chaos, I would call it, because it was still organized. I think it was pretty structured, but we just kind of the routine was not usual. So you didn't have a performance before the matches till then. You would alter your routines. And the first match I still clearly remember. I think that match which is Brandon McCullum's game. Where he scored, I think 170, 180 runs, I think.
He scored too many to count.
Yeah, too many to count. But the reaction, it was just, when I had a conversation with him about that innings, even he told me the same thing. He said the magnitude of it was so big, he didn't know what he was doing. So because out of this, just to release that pressure, he started stepping out, started playing the strokes, and everything he was connecting, and we just had a crazy day, and we had a tough time on the field bowling to him that day. But yeah, that's what it was. I think the whole atmosphere. We knew that this is something big, and 10 years later now,
players are getting bought. You auctioned off. You're up in front of a whole lot of people, and people are going, I'll pay a couple of million for him. And you're like,
the word used was cattle at the time. The word used was
just
cattle.
Going through the ring, You're like, I'll pay for him. No, he doesn't look too good.
Zaheer here.
A little bit less for him. He's a bit skinny in the back end, so I won't pay as much for him. It's like, wow.
You're excited about 11 now? I mean, for a start, CSK is back, RR is back. And I've been talking to a few people, and the impression that they've given me is it's nice to have the original 8 back. I know the Deccan Chargers become Sunrisers, but that's been for a while. But it's almost as if the old family is back again, that the original 8 are back.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think the thing for me, though, I don't think history is going to dictate how this year plays out at all, because all of these sides are so vastly different now. CSK are 3 years older, most of their players, which I think is something that we're going to look at. And the other teams, I think, have bought very smartly. I look at the variances across these teams this year. I can't pick a winner. I look at it, I think, nah. There's 5, 6 teams that can win this comfortably for me if they turn up in the first few weeks.
So CSK is obviously the big team that's come back. And I mean, I'm thinking of a club like Juventus that's coming back. I just wonder if CSK as a brand is becoming stronger because they've come back. And Zach, 8 years of the IPL, and they made 6 finals. They always made the playoffs. You just knew that come what may, somehow CSK will be in the final 4.
And this season will be no exception. I think that's how the reputation of CSK has become. it's a balanced playing 11. Like you look at CSK any time in the yesteryears as well, and you'll see that the squad had the potential. Even this year's squad, what they've picked, yes, it's a little bit on the experience side. You know, the senior citizens are quite a lot.
He used the word experience for old. He wanted to say old, but he used experience.
I'll try and use that word experience, I think, from now on.
I think if Zach had been captain of Delhi Daredevil this year, he might have said experienced rather than old as well.
I would have gone for youth.
I think they're going to have to play on the turning wicket, though.
If you can't do work, get...
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. That's a good point. They need a turning track, don't they? Zach, I think they've got such great spin options. They could play 4 quality spinners. If they played on a turning wicket, I think it's going to be
It'll
tough.
certainly be turning track there. I think, and there is no prizes for guessing that how the wicket of CSK is going to play. All the home games are I think, going to be
So let's see what they've given themselves. Harbhajan Singh, Karan Sharma, Imran Tahir. They've got all kinds of slow bowling options. Ravindra Jadeja suddenly becomes a different bowler. Suresh Raina can bowl. More than anything, you know MS better than the other two of us. MS loves playing with spin, doesn't he?
Always, I think, and that's a clear strategy here as well. What he uses spin after the power play, and that's where he feels that he has control over the game. So he's gone in with the approach that 150 is a good score on that track. So if his team gets to 150, he knows that he will be able to defend that total, and that's why he's gone with such a squad.
What I'd be interested in seeing, Dooley, as well, and I referred to that in an article I wrote on Cricbuzz recently, is this CSK has always been Dhoni's team. India was Dhoni's team. India is Kohli's team. Dhoni contributes enormously, but it's Kohli's team. And now all of a sudden he's got his own team back. And he's supremo. He's everything in Chennai Super Kings.
We might see the youthful
Dhoni
experience of Dhoni back. I like that word. It's good. We may see him because he's going to want this more than anything, I think. And everyone in that Chennai squad is going to want this more than anything. They feel like they've been harshly treated, I think, in some ways. Whether that's right or wrong, it's not for me to say. But they are back, and I think that is what they feel and they will want. And he will want this more than anything.
The other thing, when you look down that CSK squad, is there is a lot of, how do I put it, experience. Faf du Plessis, experience. Shane Watson, experience. Dwayne Bravo, experience. MS Dhoni, experience.
Brendan
McCullum, experience. They're all around 35 or over.
Sorry, he's not there. Sorry, he's RCB. Sorry,
RCB.
Old Chennai.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all 35 or over.
So this year, I don't think they'll have.
Have they bought on
any
emotion?
issues.
Have they bought on emotion rather than on anything else, you think?
No, I think, the T20 as a format, it's not too physical. The traveling around IPL is hectic, is challenging, but not the game. And especially in subcontinent, you can get away with things like, fielding. Yes, in the first 6 overs, you'll need fielders. The boundary riders are not that crucial, I think, because you'll see in subcontinent a lot of 6s and 4s being hit. At times, you don't get to run around too much. So looking at that, I think, they've just gone in with people who can handle the pressure situation. If you can have that presence of mind and situational awareness in the game time when it really counts in the pressure situation, you will be able to deliver, and that's the thought process. I think.
What is the place to hide? I mean, I'm not hinting at anything at all, but if you had to hide a fielder, where would you hide a fielder?
30-yard circle.
Inside.
Yeah.
Okay. The only CSK out and out CSK man who's not here is Ravichandran Ashwin. Otherwise, this is just CSK reincarnated, really.
Yeah, it is. And but when you look at, Shane Watson's had his injury issues. He's struggled a little bit at different times.
He's had a decent big bash. He's had a really good PSL.
And Imran Tahir is probably, not the greatest mover in the field, but a quality bowler. So I don't think they have to hide those guys. They've got good hands. It's just if they get to it, they'll catch them. It's just a matter of where they are at. But Faf du Plessis, yes, he's got some age on him, but he's fit. Dwayne Bravo, fielder. Fit. No issues with Bravo's fitness whatsoever. So that they work hard, some of the elder statesmen in that side. And MS Dhoni will never let a team down as far as his fitness and his commitment to fitness is concerned. So there's a varying degree of whether you are experienced and still fit. And I think they reached that.
Okay. I loved how everybody was trying to use their words very carefully there. But there's two teams coming back. There's CSK coming back. There's also Rajasthan Royals coming back. Now, Rajasthan Royals always were the good value for money corner store, right? They never splurged big. They always picked players here and there. After Shane Warne went away, they were a very Rahul Dravid kind of side. And in a sense, with Ajinkya Rahane going back to be captain, it's almost Rahul Dravid Mark II that's going back as captain. But the big change in Rajasthan Royals is that they have spent big this time. And we'll talk about the business model that has completely been revolutionized by the new Star Sports deal. But they spent a lot of money on Sanju Samson. They spent a lot of money on Jofra Archer. They spent a lot of money on Gautam. They spent loads of money on Stokes. They spent so much money on Unadkat that it's good to be a left-hand quick bowler now in India.
I think look at CSK making their comeback. You know, they've gone to MS Dhoni. You know, MS Dhoni is a brand. You all know that, you know, how CSK and MS Dhoni are together. So, you know, to announce your arrival, you just had to go back to Dhoni. You have to go back to Ravindra Jadeja. You have to go back to the old people who used to represent CSK, and that's what they've achieved for the marketing purpose to let everyone know that, you know, we are back.
Yes.
Okay. Rajasthan Royals, on the other hand, didn't have anyone of that sort.
Yes.
So how are you going to tell the world that yes, we are back? By doing something which you've not done in the past, which is spending money, and that's exactly what they've done in the auction. They've gone ahead, they've bought the players at the price which everyone will be talking about, and that was the fact. After the auction, all people were talking about is that, you know, oh, Rajasthan Royals, they've bought players at such a high price, and that was the strategy. It was a nice way of announcing to the world that Rajasthan Royals is back. They're playing this year's IPL.
It's financially, they can do that, though.
Yeah,
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. The reason that Rajasthan Royals can do that is Rajasthan Royals has always been a profit-driven enterprise. And all along, you got about, even in the final year of the deal, you got about 75 crores as part of the central pool. And you had to buy your players in that, hope to get a little more sponsorship. There were lots of other expenses. And so Rajasthan Royals rarely finish their entire purse. This year, you get 225 crores on an average before you start. Yeah. And your purse is 80 crores. So there is no need to save on the purse. So they're saying, look, we've got 80 crores. We'll spend 80 crores because everybody is making a profit with the new Star Sports
out of that
deal.
Comes what? Ground hireage, all the, you know, you've got to pay all your everything out of that money now.
It's not 80 crores. There's an 18% GST on it as well. And I think you've got to pay the home franchise, the home countries. Instead of 10%, now the BCCI gives 10 and the franchises give 10.
As well.
In spite of all that, you're still profitable before you start. So they can pay Stokes 12.5. They can pay Unadkat more money than 4 generations have seen.
Rajasthan. It's a good-looking side. I hope they get a good surface at Jaipur.
And Shane Warne is back. Yeah. How important is it? How important is it, Zach, to have when you got a larger-than-life coach? The coach is almost a far bigger personality than the captain.
It's becoming like that now, I think, you know, and the format is demanding that, because T20 format is very strategy-driven, and the game changes very quickly. So it's condensed. So the strategies matter, and I think to pick the right kind of squad, to have the strategy around what kind of wicket we should play on, and what should be the boundary distance. I think, you know, that also matters, because if you remember what Shane Warne very intelligently did in the first season of IPL was he played to his strength. Like, he knew what his strength is in terms of having a big ground. Jaipur ground is very big. The boundaries, especially the square boundaries, are very big. So he had a clear-cut plan. So any bowler who was bowling would bowl back of the line deliveries quite a lot. You know, they didn't rely on getting the ball up, and that was a real success, because you see teams making that mistake. They're not really understanding the situation. Sometimes you play the format, not the game. So I think, you know, Shane Warne is good at playing the game, and that's something which is very important, and it's very important to communicate that to each and every individual of the squad. So that's something will certainly be seen when RR is playing this season.
He'll take the heat off Ajinkya Rahane. I mean, he'll take a bit of pressure off, as will Ricky Ponting at Delhi. I mean, we're some greats of the game and the coaching now, aren't we?
You know, interesting.
Mahela.
Yes.
Ricky Ponting, Shane Warne, Stephen Fleming. These guys are all coming to,
Why did you stop? We've got a very close common friend called Tom Moody, and he was just hoping you'd go on with that list and include him among.
Sorry, Long Tom.
he's got 2 World Cup winning medals.
I know.
You never know.
Jack Callis is involved.
Yeah, but there you go. But the thing with Wani is he thinks Ajinkya Rahane is one of his boys as well, much like he thinks about the others. He calls him Jinx. But the thing with Rajasthan Royals was that after they won the first year, they were a popular side. Simply because they were always the underdogs. They played the underdogs to perfection, but 6-7, 6-7 after that, then third. 2014, if you're a Rajasthan Royals fan, the only image you have of 2014 is Rahul Dravid throwing his cap on the ground when Aditya Tare hit that last ball 6 at the Wankhede. And then they just about made it in 2015. So they've got something to do this year, and they've got the squad this year, as you said.
Their starting 11, I think, is crucial. If they can remain fit, it's a powerful top 6. You've got Josh Butler, I think, in my side at 6, and then they've got a good bowling lineup, and it's a side that can win the tournament. Now, as I said earlier, it's some real power in that middle with Stokes and Butler to finish off, Rahane at the top. It's a good side. It's just a matter of, I think, keeping their 11, maybe 12 fit. If they lose 1 or 2 of those key players through injury, we've just had Ben Stokes in New Zealand, and he's sort of had a few little side issues, but he's remodelling his bowling.
It's all right to say we had Ben Stokes back in New Zealand. He was just going home, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was home.
He was just going home.
I can't believe we missed out on him. Unbelievable. Jofra Archer.
Dooley has just come back. I know we're going to talk about Jofra Archer, but Dooley's just come back from New Zealand in a test match that New Zealand desperately saved using an Indian, a South African and a Zimbabwean.
They're all Kiwis, Harsha. Come on. They're all Kiwis now.
New Zealand is always known as Little England, right? So you're doing what the English are best.
We're just doing exactly what the English have done for years and years and years.
Right, Dooley, IPL 11.
Yeah.
You travel around the world. You're big travel. How is the IPL now seen around the world?
I think, personally for me, first of all, it's the tournament you want to be involved in. You want to be talking about it. You want to do these things. You want to commentate. You want to be at the ground to experience the atmosphere. I tell anyone I can that if you haven't seen the IPL live, if you haven't seen a game, you've got to go. It is the greatest party, the greatest atmosphere. It's the greatest cricket sporting event that we have, I think. And it's just, I'm looking forward to 11, as I said, because of the strength of the sides now. And I think the thought process that's going into picking these teams at auction now is a lot better. I mean, the analytics that go into it is crazy. 3 and 4 guys with computers sitting there and 2 or 3 money men. No, you can't have him. You can't spend that on him. It's phenomenal.
It's very algorithm driven.
Yeah. And every player wants to be involved. Every player around the world wants a crack at IPL.
It's interesting that Simon says that, because the big change to me in IPL 11 is how England have embraced the IPL. For a long time, England thought the IPL was distasteful. And I remember what Ben Stokes said. Ben Stokes said, I always wanted to be part of the IPL because he said, I saw Josh Butler come back. And he said he was playing shots that I hadn't seen him play. And he said he learnt that playing at the IPL. So the IPL is also a big learning melting pot, isn't it? Everybody's learning. I remember going to Australia 2 or 3 years ago. There was a young New South Wales bowler called Gurinder Sandhu. He's still on the fringe of Australian cricket. And I met him at a function. I said, are you excited to go into the IPL? He said, I'm excited to pick Zaheer Khan's brains. And that's the reason I want to go to the IPL. So they're going to the IPL because they're coming here to learn as well.
And you've seen that over the years now. I think from 2008 to now, if you look at the Indian team graph as well, you look at the findings of IPL. There are people who made comebacks from IPL. Someone like Ashish Nehra looked at IPL as a platform to make his comeback to the Indian side. You have Ashwin really developing into a great asset for Indian cricket. You have Ravindra Jadeja shaping up really nicely under Shane Warne to start with, and then really picking up his game to another level. So I think just by sharing the dressing room for 2 months, I think 6 to 8 weeks is a long time for you to learn how players are approaching different situations, how they are preparing, what kind of practices they're using to better themselves. I think that's the key. I read an interview
of Sam Billings, and he said, wow, I'm going to be sharing a room with MS Dhoni. He said it doesn't get bigger than that. Before we go on to the players Zach made a very interesting point of the players that have made it big. what is interesting in England was there's a big disconnect between the administration, who didn't want their players to go to the IPL, and every single young England player. I mean, Joe Root has said how disappointed he is not to be picked. I mean, I was surprised he wasn't picked. Either Root and Amla, I was surprised weren't picked. But they all want to be here. And the reason is there's the learning, as we talked about. So look at the young players. Zach mentioned some of them. He mentioned the Ashwins and the Jadejas. Ashwin already had about 80-85 first-class wickets, but the IPL gave him the stage. It gave Ravindra Jadeja the stage. In recent times, the Pandya brothers, but more Hardik than Krunal so far, and Jasprit Bumrah.
I think.
I mean, these are the players. They're all now household names. And Dooley, I think there's young kids coming to the IPL saying, "Can I be the next Jadeja? Can I be the next Ashwin? Can I be the next Pandya?"
Yeah, well, we just did the Under-19 World Cup down in New Zealand, and 4 players picked up in the IPL auction from that Under-19 World Cup. I think there's 2 or 3 of them will go on in the next few years to be just like the Chahals and just like the Jadejas.
I mean, Chahal is also a very good example. How he plays first-class cricket.
What a champion human being. What a great bloke he is. He's so good for the game, Chahal is. Just his enthusiasm. Akshar Patel.
Akshar Patel played for India within a year of playing for Kings 11.
Yeah.
So I think in George Bailey's Kings 11 side, suddenly Akshar Patel is hitting the ball, he's taking wickets. And Hardik Pandya is a great story. He's the first genuine Indian cricketer who's gone from T20 to Test cricket, rather than the other way around.
Absolutely, I think, and globally also, if you look at it, someone like Warner, Viru spotted his talent that way, and he actually mentioned it. He said it very very clearly that someone like Warner should be playing Test match cricket, because just because he's a T20 specialist, you can't stop him from playing Test cricket. And the stories are just endless. I think there are examples of people who've actually got the opportunity to play for India and not really making it. Like someone like Manpreet Goni, I think is a great example of that. He had the platform. He had the first IPL which was really good, but couldn't really sustain himself at the international level. But certainly IPL as a platform is just truly amazing, because it grooms you. Doesn't matter what level of your cricket you are playing at, but it's just by sharing dressing room with different cultured people, by seeing and how people are approaching the game. I think it just takes your game to another level. Plus just the conversations. I think just the conversations after the game, lead up to the game, even if you are playing, not playing, helps you just understand more about the game situations and different conditions as well. Even if the IPL is happening here, the players from South Africa and Australia, they'll be talking about how they've learned to play pull shot. I think AB has worked quite a lot with Virat also to teach him how to adjust himself to play a good pull shot. Like Virat, when he started, was not really great at playing a pull shot, but within a year, he's just like waiting for someone to bowl a short delivery. So that just happens by conversation and spending time in the nets.
So that's why Virat keeps saying AB is the best, because he wants to learn a little bit more. AB is just a genius. I mean, AB, Gale, people have just lit up the IPL. Virat Kohli is, of course, in a different league as well. Now, when the IPL first started, everyone thought, or when T20 first came, there were 2 things we thought about T20 cricket. We thought, 1, spinners have no role. And 2, that wrist spinners will go, it'll just be the fast bowlers coming in. And quite the contrary has happened, really.
Yeah, it's amazing now. I mean, every team wants a leg spinner. If you haven't got a leg spinner or a left arm wrist spinner, there's something wrong. And you go to auctions and you look at the world rankings, leg spinners and spinners in general dominate T20 rankings at the moment. And it's quite incredible how the likes of Rashid Khan, we look at Ish Sodhi, you look at Chahal, they're all in the top of the rankings.
There's also a change in the way people are looking at wrist spinners. In fact, we've looked at numbers for wrist spinners over the last few years, and the numbers are really interesting. Even the last 3, Zach, look at the percentage of deliveries that the leg spinners are bowling. Every year, there's a definite jump up, but the economy rates are getting better too. So I just wonder, as the seasons have gone along, whether people have said, listen, let's not try and slog these leg spinners, whether there's a new respect coming in for the wrist spinners, but there's hardly a team that can take a field without a wrist spinner today.
I think the advantage which wrist spinners have, that not a lot of batters are used to watching spinners' hand, and for any batsman to play spin well, it's very important to pick the delivery from the hand. and that's something which is missing. So that's why you're seeing this sudden rise of leg spinners, because with finger spinners you can still adjust. Finger spinners do need to rely a lot on conditions. Leg spinners can get away with conditions
is it because
as
throwdowns
well.
and bowling machines that people are not reading it out of their hand, or what?
Absolutely, I think it requires skill, I think, and subcontinent batsmen usually are more equipped to deal with spin. It also depends on the kind of conditions you play under. In overseas conditions, you hardly see wickets assisting you that much. So you don't really get opportunity to kind of learn that skill of playing spin. And that's probably one of the reasons, like you're seeing a lot of batting consultants are now being picked from subcontinent just to add that.
I mean, who would have
that
thought?
skill.
Who would have thought that South Africa would have a wrist spinner? That New Zealand would have a wrist spinner. So what if the South African wrist spinner is Pakistani and the New Zealand wrist spinner is Indian?
But if you don't want them, we'll have them.
No, everybody's got wrist spinners. So that's been the big change, that they're bowling more and more. India have actually won a lot of matches recently with spinners bowling on with a left arm wrist spinner and a right arm wrist spinner. Who'd have thought?
Well, India
done
is so lucky at the moment, aren't they? With you look at Chahal and Kuldeep, who can play the shorter formats of the game. Then you go to Jadeja and Ashwin, who can play your longer formats of the game. I mean, for world-class spinners, they don't have to play the two best test match spinners in the world in the 2020 and one-day games if they don't want to, because they've got quality, basically coming everywhere. And that is because of the IPL.
So what is Ashwin doing then? Ashwin's bowling leg breaks.
Yeah, he's trying something different, but that's Ashwin though, isn't it? That's his sort of, his way. I think that the fact that he loves cricket so much and he thinks, okay, I'm not going to just do this. I'm not going to be a one-trick pony. I can evolve as a cricketer. It's like the switch hit for a batsman.
Yeah.
There's something else happening. Let's see what scoring trends are. And we're seeing a bit of a difference as well between runs scored in the first six, in the middle overs, and at the end. Look what's happening in the end, Zach. Do you see a trend to keep overs and go big at the end rather than go big at the start?
Wickets in hand. That's what it's
Even
showing.
in 20 overs. That's how we used to play 50 overs first.
Yeah. So you have now the specialists to tackle the first 6 overs, and they're understanding more and more now that with the new ball, when the ball is hard, when it's swinging around, it's not easy. So the batters are taking time at the top, and they're still managing to score that 45-50 runs in the first 6, because if you look at it, you still have 36 deliveries, and with the field restrictions, you can even if you soak in dot balls, you can still achieve that number. So that's a trend which is changing. When you have wicket in hand and the platform is set, the bowlers themselves are getting under pressure. The errors are made at that stage, and then you can encash on it. So that's just a general trend which has been happening. And also to kind of make it to the point of leg spinners, I think I do feel that how everyone adapts, how batting unit is also coming together and strategizing. So these numbers are changing. Similarly, I think you have a great example in Washington Sundar. He's bowling with the new ball. He's not a wrist spinner, but he's still figured out a way of delivering the result. So I think it's a challenge now for off spinners and the left arm spinners to kind of tackle this, and it will happen. At the moment, leg spinners are dominating, but the game is evolving constantly, and I think batters are figuring out ways. Bowlers are figuring out ways. The fast bowlers are bowling cutters and getting slower and all that. The spinners are becoming faster. So I think it's an exciting phase. I think it's an exciting phase in the global cricket overall, where you're going to see lots of new things.
The fast bowlers are bowling the old ball and the spinners are bowling the new ball. Okay, something we've all been waiting for. Let's pick their brains on what their starting 11 is likely to be. We've done lots of blogs on Cricbuzz, so you know what my first 11 is. But let's get the experts in. And so we'll start with CSK. There's so many options. Dooley, you've made your team as well.
Oh, I'm trying to
But
work.
it's great, isn't it? The easiest decisions to make are the ones you don't have to make.
They are. If I'm sitting in Stephen Fleming and MS Dhoni's chair right now, I'm looking at my batting order. Now, the options are. Do you want Watson at the top? I think you do, because he's going to offer you some bowling. Yes. He's going to offer you 2 overs. Might not be a 4-over guy anymore, but he's going to open the batting. Shane Watson with Raidu. Sorry, with Murali Vijay. I'd have him with Murali Vijay.
So you're not playing Faf?
I'm not playing Faf du Plessis. No, I'm not. I'm leaving Faf out, unfortunately. And if Shane Watson doesn't work out, then I'll give Faf du Plessis an opportunity because they've got plenty of bowling.
He strikes
available.
at 140 as an opener.
Yeah, I think at the moment, sore finger, I'm prepared to leave him out because Watson's going to give me a few options of seam if I want him to.
You're okay with Watson and Vijay? Your openers still?
I agree with him now because Faf is not fully fit, so I think it's just help the selection of
let's move on.
Shane Watson right away.
Raina's 3, yeah? Suresh Raina?
Raina is 3. I think
He's
there's
3
no debate
all
on that,
day, all day. Has been the best player, or one of the best players in IPL.
Oh, he's an IPL legend.
So
he's among the 5 greatest IPL players.
Yeah, so no issue with that.
So you got Raina at 3.
Yeah.
Now, do you play Dhoni at 4?
Dhoni,
You've got Kedar Jadhav, you've got Ambati
Kedar
Rayudu.
Jadhav, I'd have Kedar Jadhav at 4, personally. Dhoni at 5, Bravo at 6, Jadeja at 7, in that sort of order.
You're okay with that?
There's no argument.
No argument.
Oh, man.
There's no argument.
Did you want us to argue about this?
No?
We want Dhoni to bat at number 4, but Dhoni wants to bat at number 5.
He wants to bat at 5, I think so. That's why Kedar Jadhav will play.
You know, it's interesting. Stephen Fleming said that we might have Dhoni up front a little bit more, but that's not happening.
That would be nice.
I actually had Ambati Rayudu as a floater in my side, and had Bravo after that. What about the bowling then? So you've got 6 with Bravo. And no, you've got 7 now. Bravo and Jadeja.
Bravo and Jadeja. If we start with the seam bowlers, I think Mark Wood, Shardul Thakur for me. Imran Tahir is the other spinner.
Harbhajan will probably come in.
I think Harbhajan.
Yeah.
So that would be. We had 7, and I've just given you 4 more. And Mark Wood, Shardul Thakur, Imran Tahir, and Harbhajan.
So your overseas players are Shane Watson, Dwayne Bravo,
Watson, Bravo, Imran Tahir, Mark Wood,
and Mark Wood.
Yeah.
You're going with that as well. You wouldn't have. Would you play Karan Sharma? Would you play Harbhajan Singh?
I think they'll start with Harbhajan Singh for sure. They'll probably look to use Imran Tahir to start with, and if the situation demands, then depending on the team which they're playing against, they'll go in with 2 leg spinners. But otherwise, I think off spinner. If the team has got a lot of left-handers, like team like Delhi Daredevil, certainly they'll go with Harbhajan.
So that's a lot of bowling that you guys have picked, because you've picked Wood, you've picked Shardul Thakur, you've picked Harbhajan Singh, you've picked Bravo, you've picked Jadeja, you've picked Watson, and you've got some overs out of Raina.
Yeah.
So you've got 7, 8 bowlers.
You've got 5 genuine batsmen down to Dhoni at 5.
Yes.
Right? And then you've got your all-rounders in Bravo and Jadeja.
Yes.
At 6 and 7.
And then you've got 4 bowlers after that.
And then you've got 4 bowlers after that. But I'm a firm believer that your bowling wins your IPL.
So you've got 6 bowlers plus Watson.
6 bowlers and Shane Watson if needed. And therefore, that with that team, if Watson starts to fail, Faf du Plessis can come in no problem. He doesn't have to bowl. So Watson's there, he can offer you some options. But if he's not going well with the bat, you can leave him out, you can play Faf as a genuine batsman, and you've still got 6 genuine bowling options.
Okay, so there you are. All you Whistle Podu guys, all you Chennai Super Kings guys, that's the team they've picked. You let us know what you've picked. We'll know tomorrow, of course, when they come on to play against the Mumbai Indians. So let's look at Mumbai Indians then. Defending champions, remember, they've won 3 IPLs. No team has won 3 IPLs. Oops, bad news, CSK. CSK think that they are the team, but MI won 3. They can turn down and say we only played 8. This is the interesting one, because I think India love to watch Evan Lewis. I remember Evan Lewis saying when he scored 100 against India, he said, I hope I get to play T20 and please God, his exact words, please God, the IPL. Is Evan Lewis the new Chris Gale though? And will you have Rohit Sharma as an opener? It's been a big debate with Mumbai Indians. Does Rohit open or does he not open?
Rohit will certainly open. I think he's too good a batsman to bat at number 4. And the statistics of Rohit also, if you look at him, if he faces 10 deliveries, that initial risk of new ball is out of the way, then sky is the limit. He can give you 100 also in 20 overs. If he faces 60 deliveries, that he's certainly going to score those 80-90 runs, and then your target is set, like your platform to win a match is set. And for Evan Lewis, as far as Evan Lewis is concerned, I think for him to become the next Chris Gale, he can't ask for a better wicket. I think Mumbai Wankhede track is probably one of the best tracks to bat on. The ball comes onto it very nicely, good bounce. So I think if he can get in form as quickly as possible and plays the whole season, you might have
you going
next Chris Gayle.
Are you going Rohit and Evan Lewis?
Oh, that would be my opening combination. Absolutely. I've been astounded that Rohit doesn't want to open the batting in the last few years.
I don't know if he doesn't want to open or he thinks that it's best for the team that he doesn't. But
it's not best for the team. I know they've won, they've got winning record, but he is out and out one of the best 2020 one-day international opening batsmen in the world.
Am I Paltan? Word is coming through strong in here. Rohit Sharma, Evan Lewis. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ishan Kishan, 3.
Yeah. He scores runs very quickly, plus he keeps wickets.
Yadav number 4.
Surya Kumar Yadav?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you want JP Duminy?
That will be the debate, I think. If they decide to go in with JP Duminy, then they'll probably have to leave out either Ben Cuttings or one of the bowlers, which is Mustafizur. So depending on how Bumrah's fitness is, because I think he's missed the last series because of some injury issues. If he's fully fit, then I think JP will certainly come into play. Experienced player, they like that experience in the middle order. That was one of the reasons which Rohit Sharma was batting in the middle overs. So they'll be able to tackle that as well with giving that freedom to Rohit also to go flat out.
And then you got Pandya Pollard.
Pandya Pollard, whichever way you like, I don't mind. Just have them there. The 3 of them are there, that's fine.
I actually thought Hardik is ready to bat at 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd like to have them 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
I think
Hardik, Pollard, Krunal.
Yeah, Hardik, Karan Pollard, Krunal Pandya, 4, 5 and 6. I'd like to have them there.
And I actually thought
that gives you a lot of bowling options again if you want to go down that road, or you can strengthen the batting by putting a genuine number 4 in.
KKR played Surya Kumar Yadav at 7 in that finisher zone, so he could go back to 7 there. Yeah. And there's a young kid I'd like you guys to watch out for. His name is Tajinder Dhillon, and he plays in the little leagues, but he bowls a little bit, but he's an explosive finisher. They've got Saurabh Tiwari, so that 7 is. You always like the floater, don't you?
Yeah.
So there's a floating 7. What's your bowling?
Pat Cummins definitely plays.
Yeah.
And then Chahar. I think Chahar plays.
Sure. Yeah.
Bumrah.
Jasprit Bumrah plays. So there's your 9, 10, 11. And
so you've got one overseas player left. If you're not playing Duminy, do you pick Fizz? Do you pick Dhananjaya?
Well, that's it. I think at Wankhede, you probably pick Mustafizur. And if you're going away and it's turning, whether you're going to Chennai, you're going to Hyderabad, you're going to Delhi. What's Delhi like? What's Delhi going to be like?
Slow.
Okay. we might play Dhananjaya there.
Yeah. You okay with that? With that pick as well?
I think
Cummins you will play.
I think overall balance is going to be depending on whether JP Duminy plays or not. If JP Duminy doesn't play, then Mustafizur certainly comes in. Over the years, you've seen that Mumbai usually goes in with two overseas quicks.
Yes.
And that's why just making me believe that Mustafizur might come into picture, because as I said, Mumbai wicket is very easy for batters. That's why you need good quality bowlers to restrict that fight.
Isn't there? So
yeah.
And they picked up McClenaghan late, but he's been one of their better bowlers in the last few years as well. I know he didn't have a great big bash, but he's actually been one of Mumbai's better bowlers. He may be pushing.
They like him. I mean,
yeah, he's a good lad too. He's a Kiwi. Why not?
So there you are, M.I. Paltan. That's the side. Depending on the conditions, either they play Mustafizur or Dhananjaya or JP Duminy. But what Mumbai Indians have done well this year is they've given themselves those options, which is also what RCB have done. We've got to be a little careful here with RCB, because our producer does not go to sleep if RCB lose. So I've been told in my ear, go a little soft on RCB. But RCB is like the person you chase and then you get jilted afterwards.
This is the year that our producer will sleep well every night.
I think it's the best team they've picked.
This is the year that our producer will sleep well.
They're already bursting crackers in Bangalore.
RCB are making the finals.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's a big statement, Dooley.
They are making the finals.
Before the first ball of IPL has been bowled, Simon Doull has predicted RCB is going to be in the finals.
I'll tell you what, for a long time it's a question that's been haunting Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli has done everything as a batsman. India are on top of the ICC ratings. Has he won a tournament? And not winning the IPL definitely hurts Virat Kohli. This is what he said.
I can tell you that, along with the fans, there's no one that wants the cup more than me, because I've been with Bangalore for 10 years and we haven't crossed the hurdle 3 times, and we've worked really hard to get to those eventual stages, but we haven't crossed it. So I can assure you my commitment is going to be 120% to try and achieve it this time.
He wants to win it. He wants to win it. The question is, who does he play? And they've got a lot of options. Let's start with the openers. They've actually got 4 opening options depending on which combination of overseas player they want to play. They can either go McCullum, Quinton de Kock. They've got someone like a Manan Vora. They've got a Parthiv Patel.
Well, batting has never been their issue. I think what the issue was to defend totals. Like you've seen in the past, RCB scoring 200 runs, but still the games are finishing close. Some games they still manage to lose. So I think they've addressed the issue well. Someone like Washington Sundar coming in is going to take that load of the power play, and you have someone like Vokes as well. Who can provide that steady bowling option in the lineup. Umesh Yadav is another quick who I feel that on Bangalore track can come handy, because generally again there are only 2 wickets which are really scary for bowlers. One is Mumbai, second is
Bangalore.
Is Bangalore, I think.
But it's changing, isn't it? Bangalore's changing.
It has been changing, but I think on the whole the nature of the wicket remains the same. Like last year it was.
Yeah, I'd love your views on that.
Differently.
I've got numbers for you. We've got numbers. Let's get Zach's expert view, because Zach reads pitches well, on why this change has happened and whether we'll see the change again. So, because the numbers from 2016 to 2017 are very different, because the bowlers did much better in 2017 than 2016. Was it because of the drainage that was making the tracks dry, or was there some other reason?
I think so. I think the whole ground was relayed. The new drainage system was placed in. So it takes about a year for the ground to settle in. That's what the expert groundsman had told me. So I'm going by his word, and that can be the reason that the water was not retaining that much. So they didn't know exactly how much water to be used to prepare a wicket, and the wicket was also being relayed. So that's also one of the reason they've added different kind of soil. They might have gone back to what they've been tried and tested formula for everyone to have a great time, and not much of a scolding from someone like Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, Chris Gayle.
They picked a lot of spinners though. Now one of the advantages, one of the reasons, what happens when you have someone like Zach on your panel is you say, right, what's your team like, Zach? And most people start by picking the top 6. Zach has started by picking the bottom 4 because he likes to win sides around.
That's been their problem. That has been their problem. He's spot on. Yeah. When you got a bowling attack, you can win an IPL.
Okay,
You've got a good bowling attack.
So what's your 11, Dooley?
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to start at the bottom as well, because we're going to have Umesh Yadav.
Yeah.
Chris Wokes is going to bat in the middle order, but he's going to open the bowling probably. Chahal,
Sundar,
Washington Sundar,
and Mohammad Siraj,
and Pawan Negi.
You're playing Pawan Negi as well.
Pawan Negi. Yeah. Now, if you want to, you can play your overseas players. I'm going to upset some New Zealanders, but I wouldn't have Brendan McCullum in my starting lineup.
If you're playing Negi, you can actually.
You can, but I wouldn't have him starting. I'd open with Quinton de Kock and Manan Vora. My 4 overseas would be de Kock, de Villiers, de Grandom and Wokes.
Yes.
And then it gives you plenty of bowling options, and it keeps nice and strong in the middle order.
So, would you go McCullum or Quinton de Kock or both?
I know one thing for certain, that Virat Kohli is going to bat at number 3, and AB de Villiers is going to bat at number 4. Now the opening, they can either go with Brandon McCullum and Quinton de Kock. That's the usual RCB way of approaching the game. Have your top 4 batters batting and facing maximum deliveries. So if they stick to their theory with the batting, they'll probably do this. But they have one more option as well, Parthiv Patel. I think he's got that experience as well. They can use him at the top of the order.
So open with McCullum and Parthiv Patel. Yeah. Every year, Parthiv Patel looks down the list of world cricket and says, who am I going to open with? Open with him. And then maybe they've got a Mandeep Singh in the middle, so that sort of rounds off. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Delhi Daredevils. Who was captain of Delhi Daredevils last year? Is sitting here. Do Delhi Daredevils have a chance this year? Because I meet my friends from Delhi and they say, oh God, the IPL is upon us again. But do Delhi Daredevils have a chance this year?
Well, having played at Delhi, one thing I must say that Ricky Ponting has done the job well to start with. I think he's picked the side, understanding the conditions, understanding what kind of wicket Delhi is going to offer, how usually the wickets in Delhi are. You need batsmen with skill. You cannot approach in Delhi knowing that you're going to score 180, 190 runs. You know, there might be days when it will be like a 180, 190 wicket, but there might be days when it's just 140 wicket. You know, and then you got to assess that quickly, because every game you have something new coming up. So knowing that, you know, he's picked the team well. I think, you know, someone like Vijay Shankar in the middle overs can provide that option.
So he's
Munro is a power hitter, plus he can bowl a bit in the middle overs. And they've gone with sheer pace. Unfortunately, someone like Rabada is not available. Yeah, but they have bowled as well. So they've gone with a clear-cut thought process that Morris is going to be their seamer who's going to play through and through.
Shami?
And Indian seamer again is an option. You know.
So would you play two spinners? Because in your team you've now got Bolt, you've got Morris, you've got Shami, you've got Vijay Shankar. Maxwell is not going to start. So would you play two spinners?
I think so.
I think lots of spin bowling options in there.
Absolutely, I think
with Nadeem, with Mishra, with Jayant Yadav.
Mishra will certainly play.
Rahul Tewatia, they've got so many spin bowling options.
Tewatia and Nadeem is someone who's been consistent. I think Mishra and Nadeem will be my first two.
Okay, so there you are, Delhi Daredevils. That just leaves. So Gambhir will open the batting, and you play Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer in between.
Again, Gambhir might bat at number 3. I think Munro and Prithvi Shaw will open the innings, and Gambhir will be at 3. Iyer will be at 4. Maxwell will be coming in depending on the situation, and then you'll have someone like Rishabh Pant and Chris Morris at the back end to take the game to another level.
Okay, so that was Delhi Daredevils. Let's move on to Rajasthan Royals. We've almost analysed that Rajasthan Royals side. Dooley, pick Rajasthan Royals for us.
Okay, Ajinkya Rahane, clearly. Tripathi, Darcy Short, Sanju Samson, Ben Stokes 5, Joss Butler 6. Possibly as strong a 3, 4, 5, 6 as any team in the tournament. I think with Short, Samson, Stokes, Butler. 3, 4, 5, 6, outstanding. Moving on, you've got Gotham.
Yeah.
Perhaps, I think maybe a 7.
You've got Binny or Gopal, depending on the
Shreyas Gopal, or Stuart Binny. I could take or leave either of those. It wouldn't bother me either way. They'll off you a little bit, and then you're down to 8, 9, 10, 11, aren't you? Jofra Archer, Jaydev Nadkat, Kulkarni, and we need a spinner in there.
You need a spinner at 8.
Spinner at 8.
You have Shreyas Gopal.
You got Shreyas Gopal?
Gopal at 8.
There's
so
someone
Kulkarni,
like
Unadkat, and Jofra Archer.
Yeah. Okay, so there you are. That's Rajasthan Royals. Their first 11 is excellent. The question is, do they have backup? Because I think what they've done is they've spent so heavily that they've got a lot of base rate players in their side. So if Jofra Archer is a problem, they've got Ben Laughlin as a replacement. Yeah. So they've got the replacements in there in there as well.
Yeah, look, as I said, I think from 3, 4, 5, 6, if Rahane and Tripathi can do the job up front, it's the best 3, 4, 5, 6 batting lineup that I can see in the competition. Now, that's going to sound harsh on an RCB, but they have got 2 of the best in the world at 3 and 4. 5 and 6 is not quite as strong as the Stokes and Butler in 2020 format, but it's a side that can do well if those guys really take charge in that first sort of 5, 6 overs.
Now the Sunrisers, Hyderabad. Are Sunrisers defined this year by who's not in the side than by who is? Because you look at the numbers, you see the contribution that David Warner has made to the Sunrisers. By the way, Warner of Sunrisers is completely different from Warner of Australia. Warner of Australia is bull one day, reverend the other. Warner of Sunrisers is a serious, proper leader of people. Over the last 4 seasons, he scored 500 every time. There was a season when Shikhar Dhawan started slowly and he shepherded him along until he got back into form. Average 40, strike rate 142. We say anything above 160, 170 is good. That's 182 there. The sum of the strike rate and the average. How much are they going to miss David Warner?
I think the last column there, I think man of the matches. You know, he's got 15 man of the matches. You know, that's a huge number. You know, he's been single-handedly winning the matches for Sunrisers, and he was enjoying the responsibility of being captain. You know, setting that culture, taking that more added responsibility was actually helping David Warner for sure. And all the credit goes to Tom Moody and Lakshman and Muthaiya Muralidharan. I think, you know, these are senior statesmen who have created that kind of culture, that kind of vibe in the team, and that was very evident. So for them, that's added work for this season for sure, because it's a big hole, you know, leaving someone like
So
someone like
Williamson
Warner.
comes in his place. You open with Williamson and Dhawan, or you do. Or so Hales won't get a game in early, but Williamson and Dhawan to open.
Yeah, I think so. It's got to be that way. And then Manish Pandey, maybe Riddhim and Saha at 3.
Just
and
go and
Pandey at
do
4.
what you
Just
want,
go
yeah?
and play the way you play. And Pandey at 4.
Shakib Al Hasan.
Shakib Al Hasan and who else do we have in there?
Yusuf
Deepak
Pathan.
Huda at 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Yusuf Pathan to add some power. And then if you want to go with Brathwaite or Nabi, I think that they sort of fight for a spot there.
Yeah.
Rashid Khan definitely plays.
Bhuvi plays.
Bhuvi plays. I mean, Bhuvi's been brilliant. Siddharth Kaur, maybe. Basil Tampi, maybe. I think
Zach, you
they're
want
fighting
to
it
play
off.
Stanlake, don't you?
Stanlake
I
for
want
sure.
Stanlake in the side, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you play Stanlake, then you can't play Nabi, because you've got to play Williamson, you've got to play Shakib, you've got to play Rashid. So if Stanlake plays, then Nabi goes out, and you play Yusuf Pathan in his place.
Yeah, and Yusuf Pathan will offer you that off-spin option, and he can knock one out of the park. I mean, Yusuf Pathan is still good enough to win you 1 or 2 games with the bat.
That's quite a lot, actually.
And that's a lot in the course of a season. But if you've got a guy, Zach, you know, who can bowl 150, and Billy Stanlake is genuine 150. He's not crank the speed
And
ball
he's
up in
what,
150.
he's
He's
6'7".
6'7". I interviewed him in New Zealand. I'm like,
And
"All
you
right,
were
Bill.
looking up.
All right, Billy, how you doing?
You were looking up.
I was looking up.
Is that how tall
It's
he
like
is?
interviewing Tom Moody.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He
Since
is
you
a
mentioned
big lad, and he bowls genuine 150 clicks, and he will frighten some people this year.
How does Tom Moody tell the team, look, there's no Warner? And how do we get over Warner?
Well, I think that between Kane Williamson and Tom Moody, they look at it and they talk about it openly. They say, look, Davey's been an amazing part of our team. He has been the leader of our pack, but he's not here. We have to find a way. And you are going to have to pick up the slack, and you're going to have to pick up the slack. And Shika, you are going to have to pick up the slack. You know,
Yes.
and Kane's going to lead this team in a different way. He's a different type of character, Kane Williamson, but he's a very good leader. And he has the respect of not only David Warner, but Tom Moody, and of that dressing room. So he won't have an issue there. But some of those other players, as you know, when you lose a key man, are just going to have to pick the
I
slack
almost
up.
thought it's like Barcelona without Messi.
It's less messy, I
And
think.
of all the teams post auction, I think, you know, Sunrisers was the only team who looked like they were prepared for any kind of situation in this IPL. I think, you know, even today, even though they've lost Warner, they knew that, okay, they have someone like Williamson there. Otherwise, Williamson would have been a question mark whether he's going to start the IPL or not. Even the last IPL season, he was not featuring in the first playing 11, but he played a crucial role. It's just about IPL is also such a long tournament that, you know, the momentum needs to be created. Sometimes you start with a first 11 option, someone's bad form, injury, something or the other plays up, and then you do the replacement, and sometimes the backup option gives you dividends.
They don't have a lot of Indian spin, but they've got enough quality overseas spin. They've got a lot of fast bowling options. SRH look like they've got options covered. SRH are almost the new Rajasthan Royals. Now, what about Kolkata Knight Riders? Now, of all the teams in the IPL, every team knew who their captain was going to be. Every team went in search of a captain, except KKR. And then KKR, I mean, they picked their first 11. They bet heavily on their key overseas players, and then one by one, they started saying, oops, problem with Sunil Narayan's action in the PSL. Oops, Lynn tries to protect one shoulder, does the other. Oops, Andre Russell has pulled some muscle. So there's a lot of oops about KKR.
There's an oops about KKR all season this year, I think.
Yeah.
I looked through, I think I can find a decent 11, but I can't find an 11 that looks anywhere near as strong as the other 11s that are in the competition this year. Zach,
For them, I think to do well this IPL, a lot of things have to fall in place for them. You know, they cannot go in with the season saying that, okay, you know, we have the playing 11, we're going to do well. I think a lot has to go their way. Like, you know, they have to in a certain situations win the toss, no injuries, and they will survive the season.
They spend a lot of money on Mitchell Stark.
yes, correct.
Mitchell Stark is the runaway bride of the IPL.
Yeah.
Every IPL, Mitchell Stark.
RCB had a lot of money, didn't play, did he? He left before the tournament.
So do you think Tom Curran is good enough to come in as a straight replacement?
I think he has to be. I know they've got Mitchell Johnson in their squad, but I think Tom Curran, at this point in time, he's a white ball specialist, and he can bat a little bit. He's a parts player, but I think he can do the job for them. And I think he comes straight in. I don't think they'll go with Mitchell Johnson first up. They
Okay.
might look at Tom Curran. I will say one thing about this Kolkata side, though. I saw a young lad at that Under-19 World Cup, and every bit of talk was about Prithvi Shaw coming to New Zealand for India. He's not a patch on Shubman Gill. I can tell you that right now. Shubman Gill is so far superior as a player. It's not even funny.
So he's making your first 11.
He is there. He's got to play.
So
I was so impressed with him.
you go Lin and Narayan to open the batting, and Gill somewhere there. Do you Uttapa? Do you play Nitish Rana?
Well,
Yeah,
KKR, KKR actually has invested a lot in youngsters. You know, you have someone like Nagar Kotia as well. You know, who is a young bowler. You have Shubman Gill, another young cricketer.
Shivam Mavi, the other.
Shivam Mavi, another under-19 boy. So I think overall, for looking at the future, you know, they can build from this. But this season is a big question mark.
The first 11 is all right, isn't it? Lin, Narayan, Uttapa, Rana, Karthik, and then they've got Russell. They've got two wrist spinners in Chawla and Kuldeep. If Curran plays for Stark, and they've got to play either Vinay or Nagar Koti or somebody. So I think the presence of Russell, if he's fit and firing, is the big difference.
As I say, if they're fit and healthy, I can see a good 11. But they have to remain fit and healthy the whole way through this IPL. Otherwise, they just don't look to have any strength outside of that number 111 that they can pick.
I think Zach said it right when he said they could play well, but a lot of things have to go right for KKR. Which leaves us with the last side, and which leaves us with the most interesting combination of all. You know them both well. You know Virender Sehwag very well. Sehwag as coach is like, you don't know what to expect, and then Ashwin as captain. I know they've got Brad Hodge formally as a coach, but you think it's like Sehwag's team. So Sehwag and Ashwin, I think if they can get along, then the side is...
Well, I mean, knowing Viru, he will give Ashwin that freedom on the field. You know, there will be a lot of discussions, a lot of strategies being devised outside of the field. But on the field, I think it will be Ashwin's call, Ashwin's thought process, and he will have a free hand on the field. And knowing Ashwin, you know, he can think well of the game. So that's really important, I think, in T20 format. He will he might be unorthodox also at times, but he will take chances. You know.
Okay, let's start forming their side then.
Okay.
So you've got lots of opening options. The biggest thing is, will you go with someone like a Rahul or a Karun Nair or a Mayank Agarwal, or will you go Chris Gale?
Chris Gale doesn't play. I don't think early on. I mean, Finch is not going to be there for the first two games. Is that right? He's getting married. I think he's missing the first two games.
It's a very expensive marriage. I mean,
it's costing him a little bit. I mean, you're guaranteed...
You're talking to someone who's just got married, so be careful. Yeah.
I think you're guaranteed three, Miller, Stoinis and Andrew Tye.
Yes.
And when Finch comes back, he goes into the top of the order. So does Gale play the first two games while Finch is not there? That is a possibility.
I mean, they've got a lot of Indian openers. They've got Agarwal, they've got Nair, they've got Lokesh Rahul. So
I still don't see that happening, I think. And Stoinis is certainly going to play.
Yes.
So Miller will certainly play.
UV?
UV will play. But I think Andrew Tye for sure. So I'm just talking about the overseas to start with.
That leaves one overseas option. They might just throw in this young Mujib Zadran, you know?
Yeah.
They might just throw in this Mujib Zadran and say, right, we've got enough options.
The spinner, mystery spinner. Go ahead with that.
Mohit Sharma.
Aksar, Ashwin, and one more overseas spinner, because they have Indian batting options, so you know, they can afford to do that, and that will that's what they'll probably start with, because Virender Sehwag after the auction was very clear that Chris Gale has been brought into the side only for the marketing purposes.
So they could start with KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal, maybe Karan Nair, Miller.
Yuvraj,
Miller and
Yuvraj in the middle overs.
Stoinis, Ashwin,
Aksar
at
6, Ashwin at 7,
Aksar
at 8, and Andrew Tye at 9. It's not a bad lineup. So
there you are. We've got our lineups. I hope you enjoyed watching Cricbuzz live. We're going to come to you before, in between, at the end of every game, just about 25 minutes or so. As soon as the toss is done, we'll come up with all that's possible. We'll have freewheeling conversations like this. Zach is going to be a big part of it. Dooley is going to be a big part of it. And we just rotate around. We get fresh thoughts every day. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much to Zach, to Dooley. We'll all keep coming back.
Who wins tomorrow? Quick.
Okay, quick one.
Come on.
MI, CSK.
MI,
CSK.
MI tomorrow.
Oh, dear.
Who are you going with? Oh, I got to go CSK because you're MI.
I think MI is start favourites. I think they start favourites. We'll see what happens. Do let us know what you thought. This is a social media platform. This is not a television platform. So keep telling us what you thought, what you want on the program, and we can keep customizing that as well. So thank you very much for joining us on Cricbuzz Live. Stay tuned to Cricbuzz Live. Who knows? This might be the start of something great fun. So thank you.